welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about another, well, it's not really another relationship video because the previous 3 video series that I did was more on us to other people. So that's if you have a crush or a relationship or friends. I did videos about that in February, but today we're going to be talking about our relationship with God. So before anything else, I'm just going to say that I'm basing this off of a blog that I did called Relationship Status. And because a friend asked how we can grow with our relationship with Jesus, I decided to make a video and use the same title and base it off of that. So I won't be expounding on what was mentioned in the blog, but I will be basing off of that. So I'm just gonna mention the 3 points that I mentioned then, and then we're gonna continue on to today's topic, basically. Alright, so in the blog we talked about the three levels of relationships, which is generally speaking. So there's one-sided, mutual, and lifetime commitment. So obviously we're going to be basing this idea off of the person-to-person relationship. So if you're in a relationship, congratulations, I guess. I'm pretty sure that you, even if you're not in a relationship like me, I'm in a relationship with God, with people like friends. Anyway, so first, acknowledge. That's one word actually, acknowledge. So basically in a relationship, it's hard to have a relationship with someone you don't even acknowledge. In our church's Walking with God series in BCC, you can check out the channel, link down below. Our pastor was talking about how the Holy Spirit, who was given as a gift from God to us, he is a person, but many times a lot of us don't get a relationship with him because we don't even acknowledge that he's there. Like, it feels like he's just this other being that's so far off that like we're not either worthy of it, we just can't connect to him, that we don't acknowledge that he's there, and therefore it's hard for him to come into our lives. It's hard for God to fully work in our lives if we don't even acknowledge what he's given to us, you know? So that's the first point. You have to acknowledge God, acknowledge who he is, what he has done for us, so that you can move on to the deeper and next point, which is allotting time. So first we acknowledge, second we allot time. You can't allot time or schedule someone into your daily routine if you don't know who that person is. That is why acknowledging is important. And so the next point in allotting time, I believe that you guys know, whether it's in a family relationship or with friends, that if you don't spend time with each other, things are not gonna be the best that they could be, right? Like, I am blessed to have friends that I don't talk to every single day, or I don't see them every single day. With quarantine, yeah, but I have friends on the other side of the world, back in Atlanta, that we grew up with. We don't talk a lot, but when I visit them, it's kind of like things are just amazing. I know I missed out on a lot, but it still feels good. But that's the thing, because we don't spend a lot of time talking anymore, I miss out on some things that still happen in their lives. So even if we're still friends, it's not complete, or like everything that I could know, everything that I could relate to, because we don't have, or we don't spend as much time talking to one another. And that's the same thing with God. If we want to grow in our relationship from God from just one-sided, because in the one-sided, you acknowledge the person. Either girls, you like ignore the person, or you just acknowledge and like, thanks, no thanks. But that's it. If you go to a mutual level, that is where you start allotting time for the person. Or like I said, sometimes you don't, but you're just in a mutual relationship, like that's it. But if you want to grow, you gotta allot time, to spend time, to sacrifice time for that person. Because really, how would you get to know that person more, to know what that person wants, to know the character, to fall in love with the entire being if you don't spend time with that person? Like, time is important. So anyway, From acknowledging and allotting time, we go to accepting and growth. So acceptance and growth are part of the mutual level, where you basically accept, for people, you accept the person and you work on how you can grow individually so you can grow together. I mean, even if you're not in a relationship right now, if you accept who you are and try to grow to become the best person you can be, then that's going to be so helpful in relationships, from friendships to family and to your future partner. Because what I tell my girls is that if we expect the people that we are with to be good and to grow well, then we have to be the same. We have to also accept who we are, accept people around us so that we can grow more, if that makes sense. So basically, in 1 Corinthians 13, these verses were also mentioned in the blog. This is basically the love chapter of the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. It basically talks about how important love is and what love is like. And in 1 John 4:8, it says that God is love. So in this stage, in the mutual stage, it's basically us acknowledging that God is there, acknowledging His love. It is allotting time for that person to spend time with Him so that we can know Him better, and to accept what He has put into our lives just as we accept who we are. So in a relationship, I can't remember the exact words, but it's like, you don't lose yourself in the relationship. You should be getting better. You don't change who you are so that someone accepts you. They accept you for who you are and grow along life with you. And God is so amazing because He's perfect. He is God. He already knows us, but He still wants to help us grow. I think the quote went something like, God loves you where you are, but He loves you so much that He doesn't want you to stay where you are. Like, He wants to help you grow. Like, you're already good as you are. He loves you where you are. But if you want the best in life, we have to grow. And in a relationship with God, He wants you to not just accept that you are in this state right now, that you are going through this, you are feeling these things, you are thinking these thoughts. He accepts that. He knows that. He loves you anyway, despite all of that, but He doesn't want you to stay there. He wants you to grow, to get out there and become better. And so that's the third point. We have to accept who we are. We don't have to lie to ourselves, telling ourselves to be strong all the time, to be strong in a relationship. Like, the amazing thing with God is that you don't have to tell other people, or other people don't have to tell you, stay strong. Like, I don't know if that's a common thing you guys see, but I see it a lot on media, like, stay strong, guys, those who are in a relationship. And even though it's true, the amazing thing with God is you can be broken before Him. I mentioned this in a blog, in previous vlog, I think, where you can be broken and God is just going to use that to build you up even better, because anything that is put at His feet, He can make into magnificent things. The broken will become beautiful. There's blessing in the brokenness. There's breakthrough in the brokenness. There's so many things that God can do through you, through your brokenness. And that is one thing that we don't usually accept in terms of having a relationship. Like, we don't want to seem vulnerable, or it's hard to be vulnerable. That's why when you are vulnerable to someone and they break your trust, it hurts a lot. But God will not break your trust. He is faithful to every promise. He's faithful to you. And so it's okay if you don't have to stay strong. Accept that you can't stay strong all the time, that you will make mistakes, that you will fail, that you will doubt yourself. Accept that, because God does. But make sure that you're willing to grow. Okay? So, fourth point, I hope I'm not going too fast, is always follow and imitate. So if you didn't notice, these are the 4A reminders or ways to grow in your relationship with God. There are lots of big influencers or celebrities that influence our generation, and so a lot of us find ourselves like trying to wear the same clothes or do the same poses, the same videos, or like, you know, trying the same things that they do, because not only are we following them, but we think that imitating them will help us feel better, more confident, less insecure, will help us feel safer with more people. And yet, not all of that is felt when you follow people, because people are people. We are imperfect, no matter how much money, how many things you have, no matter how many followers you have, we're all people. There will always be something at the end of the day that people cannot fill. and only the maker of our hearts can fill. So that is why following is very important, because whether you like it or not, when you follow someone day to day, because that's spending time with that person, you're going to start adapting somehow to their habits, to their traits, you would know more about them, and so you would usually tend to line up with that and align yourself with that. And that is why in the Bible it says bad company corrupts good character. So even if you are the nicest person ever, if you are always with people who are not so nice, if you are with people who are the opposite of your character, then whether you like it or not, a good tomato in a basket of rotten tomatoes becomes rotten as well. So that is why it is important to follow the right people. How do you know if it's right? If what they share, if the life they live helps you become better and healthier. And by healthier, I don't just mean following people who help you physically stay fit and everything, but people who also help you find the peace and the purity in your heart and in your spirit. Because we might not be perfect, but people who serve the perfect God, who love the perfect God, they overflow with more character that comes from Him. If you want to grow in a relationship with God, read His Word, spend time with Him, acknowledge who He is, allot time, some personal, intimate time with God, accept and grow, and always follow and imitate the way that Jesus lived on this earth, the way that God has shown His love for us. Like, I know this is a lot that I've been saying, it's kind of getting long, and there's a lot more that could be said about walking with God, but take it step by step and day by day. Just start by acknowledging Him in your life, seeing what He has done in the past. You might not even know the obstacles that you could have run into and fallen through, but He was there to protect you from things you didn't even know about. He made you to reach this point in life as strong as you are, and we probably don't even see how He's using us right now, how He's molding us. But years from now, we'll look back and see that when we allow Him to work in our lives, He does amazing and beautiful and wonderful things. Stay safe, keep praying, God bless.